All right, so we want to do number 17 from 7.4, which is looking at this profit polynomial. So what's our first word problem step?
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Okay, have we successfully not panicked at this one? No.
Sure.
Okay, so breathe, chillax, right? What's our next step after we're at least a little bit calmer? Read it, and then as we panic, maybe rinse and repeat the breathing step. Right? Okay, so profit polynomial. The business manager of a small windmill manufacturer. Okay, cool. I can start drawing my picture, right? Windmill? Whatever. Close enough. Doesn't have to be a good picture. I personally suck at drawing pictures. So, here we go. Alright, there's our windmill. And we're manufacturing windmills, so maybe we should have an extra, like, not done windmill there. Okay. And apparently there's some kind of a profit in dollars per week from making windmills. Okay, it seems reasonable that you could maybe make money making windmills.
Possibly if you live in Denmark.
Yeah, depending on where you live. And it's given by this funny, scary thing. Okay, I'm suppressing that. How many windmills should be produced each week in order to generate a profit? And then they give me this hint. Hints are supposed to be helpful, right?
Yeah, but
And that one doesn't seem to be because... The hell does that word mean? Okay, let's suppress that.
I know it's normal English, but
So if I ignore that word, what's the reasonable interpretation of only a blank number of units can be produced?
positive.
Positive whole, right? Only a whole number of windmills can be produced?
But you only have to produce half one.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to sell somebody half a windmill, right?
It's a kit.
unless it's one scale.
Okay, so let's ignore the word that they put in there that didn't make any sense and substitute whole. All right, so what's this thing they gave me? This seems to be the only numbers, right?
Function.
Okay, so it's some function. What's its name and what does it do?
It's telling you how much profit you're gonna make in a week by using X amount of windmills.
Okay, so x is the n, right? What's the function rule's name?
P of x.
P. Good. So it takes x's and produces p of x's, right?
Yeah.
What do the x's represent?
Windmills.
Windmills per week.
Number windmills per week. Okay, and it takes a number of windmills per week and turns it into a cash money, right? Okay. So what's this question they're asking? How many windmills should be produced each week? What are they asking?
How many do you need to break even?
Yeah, they're asking how many windmills do you have to make before you're actually getting a profit.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Right.
So what am I looking for?
Solve for 0.
Yeah, I should figure out what happens when I make no windmills or wait. Is that backwards?
When you make
Is
zero
0
profit.
the 0 you mean? Is that an input or an output?
That's an input.
No,
Startup
output.
production is profit.
When you make no money. Output.
You have no
Yeah, I'm looking for when I make no money, right?
When you break even.
That means my 0 lives in money or windmills? Money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 0 is an output. So I should set 0 equal to what?
Negative x squared.
Yeah, equal to that thing, minus x squared plus 70x minus 600. You guys see that? If I put 0 in for x and solved, well, wait, solved, not solved, evaluated, what would I be getting?
0,600. That'd be your y.
Yeah, I'll get minus 600, right? What's that? Not break even, but
It's your loss of profit.
it's your loss if you make no windmills.
Yeah.
You guys see that? When I set x equal to 0, I'm thinking, what happens if I weren't to make any windmills? Yeah, I lose 600 bucks. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I got to keep the lights on, right? I got to rent a place to do this. I got to pay my workers even if they're not doing anything, right?
Would that be considered your start of production?
Yeah, that's called your overhead cost in our books language. Here I'm setting 0 in the profit side, right?
Yeah.
So how do I solve something like this?
You can use the quadratic formula or square.
You see that? I can use the quadratic formula right now.
Yep.
Or I could complete the square.
Yep.
Or I could, what's the other option? It's not going to be a good idea here.
Product rule.
Yeah, I could try to use the AC method to factor and then use the 0 product rule, right? I didn't really want to write down the things that multiply to 600 and add to 70. I didn't even want to play that game, right? So I'm not going to. So what do you want to do? Complete the square or quadratic formula? Your choice. Quadratic formula? 60 to 10 is a good point. Okay, let's cram in the quadratic formula. What are A, B, and C?
170 and
Like this?
Negative 6.
Up. Okay, now what? Oh, and it is x this time. Cool. So x is okay, so oops. Write the quadratic formula down someplace, then write it down with blanks in for all the variables, then fill in the blanks. Okay, so what's this blank? That's a 70. How about this one? Also a 70. Okay, and okay, so I filled in all my blanks. Now what? Evaluate. Have I harped on the difference between the words solve and evaluate in here? Evaluate's when you're putting the input into a function. You're just doing arithmetic. When you're solving, you're kind of undoing operations. This is an evaluate step, right? Because all I'm doing is cramming numbers together in the order they're presented. Right? That's order of operation kind of stuff. Anyway, I've got x is negative 70 plus or minus the square root of, what did you guys get under there? What's 70 squared?
4,900.
4,900
Minus 2,400.
minus, you guys all believe that's a minus?
Yes.
Why?
Good.
Good, there's 3 negatives. Then I got 2,400, and then on the bottom, what have I got? Negative 2. Okay, so I got x is negative 70 plus or minus. What's under the square root?
50.
Oh yeah, that's 2,500. So I've got the square root of 2,500, and then I'm dividing by negative 2. And then the square root of 2,500 is 50. So I've got x is negative 70 plus or minus 50. Any of you guys have a tendency to write another square root here?
No.
Yeah, be a little careful with that. Some of you will notice that tendency in yourself. You used it up, right? So it went away. All right, now what? Split them? Okay, so x is negative 70 plus 50 over 2, or negative 2. Thank you for being the keeper of the minus sign. Or x is negative 70 minus 50 over negative 2. So I got x is
X is
10, or x is
60.
60.
Yep.
Sure.
Because the AC method would be 0 to no at 4 times. Maybe 660 10,
You guys all see that?
600.
Back at the beginning, probably should have tried the AC method for like more than 2 seconds. You see that? What's the price you pay for not seeing the factor method?
We do all that.
Yeah, a little bit of arithmetic. Is it a big price to pay?
No.
I don't know. It depends on how bad at arithmetic you are. Right? If you're lousy at arithmetic like me, you spend a little more time trying to factor. If you're good at arithmetic like some of you guys are, 2 seconds, cram it in, deal with it. Cool? It just depends on what your strength is. So I got these 2 answers. What do these 2 answers mean? So what did I do to get these?
So that is how many windmills you should be producing each week in order to generate the profit. So it's like 10 to 60 is your gain of profit. And anything from 10 to 0 is your loss interval profit.
Okay. You guys hear that? So we've got this idea, right? We can make 0 windmills or more, right? You guys all with that? We can make anything from 0 to more windmills, right? There's obviously some kind of practical upper bound on this. Like, I probably can't turn all the universe into windmills. But whatever, let's assume there isn't a practical upper bound. So I found these 2 special spots, right? Those mean something. So something happens at 10 and something happens at 60. What is it?
Those are your units that you produce.
These are the number of windmills I produce in a week to what?
It's a gain of profit.
10 is 0 profit.
Yeah, 10 is a 0 profit, and 60 is also 0 profit. You guys see that?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 60.
It's a 0 profit because where did I get the 60 from? Well, I set my profit function equal to 0 and solved, right? So that's an input that gives me an output of 0. So I found these 2 numbers that both correspond to 0 profit. I could think about this a little harder. What does this function look like? That function. Yeah, it's a parabola, right? And it's flipped over because it's got a minus. You guys all see that? So my profit function looks like this. Right, it's an upside down parabola. You guys all see that? So this, right, means,
You make money between 10 and 60.
yeah, it means I'm making money between 10 and 60. What do these mean?
Units produced.
Yeah, I'm losing money. I'm losing money between 0 and 10 because I'm not making enough products to make money, right? I'm not recouping my overhead cost. And then after 60, what happens?
Making too much.
Yeah, you're making too many. You're oversaturating the market, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing that happens when you drill too much in North Dakota and gas prices drop by 70 bucks a barrel. Or oil prices drop by 70 bucks a barrel, right? You accidentally oversaturated the market, and then you're kind of host. You get to wait, right? Stop making windmills until it recovers. You guys see that? Okay, so what did they ask, and how do I write the answer?
Between 10 and 60 units need to be produced to make profit.
Cool. Make between 10, and 60. Right? Is this a great sentence?
No.
No. You could add something about windmills here. Right? You could add a clause about to generate a profit. Right? But this is all I need from you. Right? A verb and the answer. What's the subject here?
Make. Oh, make.
No. This is an implied subject. The subject in this sentence is a you. Awesome. Welcome to your English lessons for the day. All right, any questions on how we got this number or any of this? No? Cool.